me, real graffiti is meant to be there. Someone took time and effort to put it there. Why they put it there, where they put it, that's all their decision.
You just take your ideas and thoughts and put them on a canvas.
I like graffiti, I like looking at graffiti. I think it's artistic.
Art is defined as a way of expressing oneself by many. An anonymous quote declares, "Life dissolves the soul. Art reminds you that you have one." Graffiti was seen as a form of art to some, but vandalism to others. Defendants of graffiti art claim that it expresses emotions of the artist, and therefore must be classified under art. Others are infuriated that graffiti could even be considered art as much as any other contemporary art. However, graffiti is considered different from graffiti art. Graffiti is seen as the marking of property to portray dominance, whereas graffiti art is actually considered an art form.
The definition of graffiti is scribbling on walls or outside surfaces, so it does lose some integrity to it, but it's still art. It can still be on a canvas, and it can still be out for sale and on show.
Graffiti art is best represented by murals, commissions, and other various aspects that other art forms fall into. Tags, logos, and icons are often done in the graffiti art style. And in an increasingly modernistic society, graffiti is seen as the landmark counterculture to mainstream art.
To me, it's a medium of art. Just like we have painting, we have charcoal, and we have stenciling, whatever. Those are all different mediums. And I see graffiti spray as a medium of expression as an art.
What sets graffiti apart from the other art forms is that graffiti is a very public form of expression, and often the locations that are chosen for a graffiti piece are in strict coordinates to the message being sent.
See, in the streets of Birmingham, in the streets of the second largest city of Great Britain, you can now see murals that show clear and open support for the Palestinians.
Graffiti has become increasingly popular with young artists, and today we find within the art movement its own culture, one that resonates in the streets of some of the world's largest cities. With so much embrace of graffiti as an art form, there is likewise criticism of it, which not only resonates in the artwork itself, but additionally in the culture it has spawned. Although it started in the streets, graffiti is now its own culture, and popular artists such as Banksy are world-renowned for their work, which has led the art community to begin to accept it as a legitimate form of expression.
I think it's artistic, I think it's an expression. You have someone's ability to take a spray can and draw. I mean, look at people like El Mac, right, and Redna. Those guys are amazing graffiti artists.
While the art community has begun to recognize graffiti art as an official form, it has not been as welcomed by the general public, which still refer to it as a nuisance and a crime.
Damages from graffiti cost millions of dollars each year to repair. As a parent, you will be held financially liable for the damages caused by your child. As a parent, you can help by talking to your children about the consequences of vandalism.
Coalitions, PSAs, and ad campaigns are just some of the tactics anti-graffiti groups use to curb the outbreak. And as a result of increased persecution for graffiti, many artists have been driven into hiding or simply stopped doing it altogether. When a local graffiti artist known as Shuck was asked why he was going to stop doing graffiti, he replied that it's too much of a risk nowadays, and it is considered a felony. In Los Angeles, California, consequences from being caught doing graffiti can include jail time, formal probation, restitution, and community service. It is also considered a vandalism felony if damages are valued over $400. Like any art form, graffiti can and has been taken advantage of. Due to its very public form of expression, gangs, racist groups, and other propaganda coalitions often employ graffiti to send their message and mark territory.
Oh yeah, of course. There's racist graffiti, and there's, you know, like different types of hate graffiti. Yeah, there's all kinds of graffiti. So, no, yeah, there's definitely racist graffiti.
There are countless examples of racist, hateful, and gang-related graffiti in society, which anti-graffiti groups feature prominently in their ad campaigns. It is often noted that graffiti leads to more loitering, littering, and extreme forms of tagging in the areas that it's presented, and that it lowers house values and gives the cities that it's in bad images. What's lost in this assumption is that while it appears that graffiti is a tool for racist and other forms of hate crime, the culture that comes with graffiti art has brought people together and created a unity amongst artists not often seen in any other form of art. In the general public's eye, graffiti is normally thought of as a criminal act of vandalism, one often associated with gangs and hate groups. But in actuality, the case is just the opposite. Graffiti is the modern day's art movement. It has evolved from the streets into a full-fledged form of expression, and is now even being studied in schools.
I think there's already people studying graffiti. I think certain schools study graffiti. Yeah, I think graffiti will be studied, definitely. It's an art form. Why not?
Unlike other forms of expression, graffiti art can even make use of the forgotten parts of the world, turning perennial wastelands into canvases for artists to express themselves.
I mean, I can understand when they want it out of the bad areas because there's a lot of like gang activity involved, but for the people that do things like this, where this is kind of like a deserted place where no one comes to.
Graffiti sends messages. It's a public form of expression, and contrary to popular belief, it's not done for vandalism. Most graffiti artists are young, between the ages of 12 and 18, and as they grow up and evolve, so does the movement itself. As the graffiti artist Shuck notes, as I grew up, it changed for me. It was first art and me getting good, and then it became something to get my name out there. While it has blossomed into a legitimate art form, graffiti art and the movement that comes with it have kept one crucial aspect from their inception: unity. As an anonymous artist remarked, all kinds of people are doing it. There is no race or group that does it more than another. It's one of the few movements I've been involved in that includes people from all backgrounds.
And it's just great to be able to paint, a message like this. I think there's no better place for it in the heart of the community.
Graffiti is indeed done by all people, regardless of age, gender, race, or any other factors. And though it may be painted over and covered up, the message it sends and the movement it has bred will keep going strong.
It just was amazing that someone would put their life on the line for literature. I don't know, I think graffiti is going to go down in history as some of the prolific literature of the world.